How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Nier. So, in the last session, we came here to the Forest of Myth, and what a lovely area this was. We were apparently stuck in a dream, or at least I'm assuming that's what this was. And I feel like if I talk to anyone here, I'm going to be sucked back into a text adventure, which is what I really don't want to do. But these people have the quest icon, so this must be another person infected by the death dream. It would appear that way, yes. Ah, fuck, I really don't want to enter his dream. I really don't want to, because it's just going to be more like text adventuring to do, honestly. Ah, fuck it, let's do it. Let's at least do one and see how long it's going to be. Gods, please don't tell me we have to go back in there. I'm no good at this mind game crap. I'd rather hit something in the face and be done with it. Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission. Yeah. I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My box, my prison, is tucked under a stairway in the long unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside, I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that seems without end. Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes. An eternity slips by in the single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Hey, anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice. My savior. I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is a product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry. For the love of all the gods, help me. Impossibly, I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired man and a floating book before the light pours inside. And it's our lovely men. My eyes, unaccustomed to blackness, explode with pain, and I am forced to turn away. Who are you, I ask, shaking hands covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Weiss. This is Nier. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand, we shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Nier extends his massive hand and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are as keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain. I never thought to hear the rain again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pooling around my feet and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good of our escape, we shall all drown in this castle. We know that you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like the endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. I guess, yeah, we're gonna proceed north. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It has been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away on the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know, and sanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether scream or excuse me, whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. I squint down the dim corridors. Let's go east, I guess. I squint down the dim corridors. Now let's go north. I squint down the dim corridors. Let's go north again. At the end of the path, the waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upward. And imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It is constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume, even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by a desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet, as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into the shape of another finger. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner? A fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. This poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I have been admiring a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough shielding my eyes. I paddle forward through the water. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed south. I squint down the dim corridors and let's go south even more. And then we'll make a nice turn to west. And then we'll make a nice turn to south. And then north. The water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth and nose. You dumb bass, shouts Nier. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Grimoire of ice, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. What? Are you fucking serious? I actually got a game over by failing to fucking get out of a castle in a dream. Are you fucking serious? This is stupid. Why am I trying to do this shit? And I'm gonna try it again because I'm a stubborn piece of shit. What the fuck? This is stupid. Like, okay, yeah, I get it, you know. This is something different. It makes this seem like it's not just a hack and slash game. You know, this is a JRPG with a little bit more going for it. Whatever. But my god. I fucking died in that shit? How was I supposed to know I was going the wrong way? What's the right way? Am I not paying attention to the clues? I guess let's try it again. Yep, let's go. Let's see how this one will go. God damn it, I fucked up again. Okay, so maybe I'm actually going in, like, a direction that goes back to the water, and that's a problem. So I need to imagine the character, I guess, and try and go in the right direction. Okay, so this is something different. I find myself in a great hall with only the sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet swishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. As my eyes continue to adjust, I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all the invited guests. An army of foul, wriggling insects have made homes in their remains, and this is the movement I saw. This once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, then slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs prove to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat up the back and down the arms. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. For if not, it is a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was punishment. Though in truth, I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. Alright, so I'm facing east right now, so I need to go north. Against all hope, we make it to the front door. Yes! Break it down, someone cries. And so I give myself to the effort. In tandem with Nier and Grimoire Vice, I slam my body against the thick, sturdy door. On the third try, it gives away, and we find ourselves sprawled in front of the castle. The storm is in retreat. The clouds above are all still dark and foreboding. But to the west, I can see a thin shimmer of sunlight trying to break through. How can I thank you, I cry as tears join the rain on my cheeks. I would surely have died in there. Looking down, I suddenly notice that my dress is in tatters, and sheepishly try to cover my exposed skin. Your dress, asks Vice, my bad. Then you're a woman, madam. Yes, I am. I proffer the two a smile. I suppose that comes as something of a surprise, seeing as how I exist only in the form of words. Well, yeah. I can see that the one known as Nier is disappointed that the torn dress will be given no further description, but he hides it well. With a nod and a shrug, the three of us set forth to our awakening. But behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside with their final shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. A fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch in awe, uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. The castle's dead have awakened to their new life as shades. That was annoying. You have anything to say about that? Hopefully there will be no labyrinth next time. I hear you. Please, for the love of God, don't let there be. Now, there's one more to do. God damn it. Okay, we'll do it. This will all be one episode, I guess. It's just another episode of Text Adventures. I'm sorry. So let me save the game before I try this shit again. God damn, that was terrible. But yeah, I guess I was getting confused. I was getting myself lost and I was accidentally backtracking, which got me to a point where, oh hey, we're underwater. I didn't realize that, I'm sorry. I thought I was going the right way, but I don't know. So I started pointing, like legitimately pointing in front of me. So I knew which way I was actually going. Let us talk to this man. And another victim. This work certainly is trying. Here we go. I'm surprised, Vice. You're a book. All this word stuff should be right up your alley. Yes, quite. Well, enough chatter. Let's be off. Yeah, yay. A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, their tall forms scraping against the sky. Vice and Nier had never seen such a sight. Of course, it's this music. And their eyes widen as they tried to take it in. Hey, Vice. We keep walking, but those things don't get any closer. I don't get it. Are they really that big? As Vice considered his answer, the sun beat down on them with renewed ferocity. Perhaps they are some manner of mirage, he said. Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight. Nier nodded and wiped the sweat off his brow, leaving a trail of sand in its place. He thought he'd never been so thirsty. The ancient road on which they walked was black and cracked with age. Here and there, thin wisps of grass and pushed up through the rocky surface, as if defying those who had laid this material down over their home. The heat reflecting from the road made Nier lightheaded. Suddenly, he dropped to his knees and slammed his hand against the black surface. God damn it, he said. Is this some kind of joke? Well, I'm not laughing. The complaining had already begun. Vice tried not to let his eyes roll too much. A joke, he said? No, no joke. This road leads to the city of art. Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of grand artistic work. Oh, come on, that's bullshit and you know it. Possibly, but thinking of it in this way might make it easier for you to bear. Nier glanced at Vice's grinning face, cursed silently to himself, and resumed walking. As time passed, Nier's feet grew more painful, and his throat drier than he thought possible. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses. "We are definitely getting closer," said Vice, in an effort to cheer his companion. "Yes, this much is certain." Encouraged, Nier lifted his gaze. Suddenly, he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road with his mouth and eyes wide open and his finger pointing in the distance. "Water," he cried. "It's water." "Water?" asked Vice. "Preposterous. I don't see any water." "It's right there, idiot. Can't you see it? Look, the sun is reflecting off it." Without waiting for a response, Nier sprang to life and bounded toward the sight. "What in the—" There was no water. There was nothing but sand in every direction. Nier closed his eyes and sighed as Vice floated up behind him, chuckling softly. "I believe this is known as a mirage," he said. "Many a desert traveler has spoken of such things." Nier shook his head, bewildered. Suddenly, he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more. "Wait, there it is! I just missed it! Look, it's right there!" Nier sprinted off again, leaving Vice with no choice but to follow. After a few minutes of running, Nier came to a halt. "I could have sworn it was right around here." Confused, he put his hands up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue shimmering pool of clear water just over the next rise. With a shout, he bounded off in search of it. The chase continued for nearly an hour, until an exasperated Vice finally floated up to Nier and struck him in the face with his cover. "You damn blithering idiot, stop this at once." "There is no water here." Nier's face clouded. There isn't?" "There is not, and perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as much." Vice paused for a moment, and then continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone. "However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted, and it seems we have arrived in the City of Art." Nier looked up. Stretched out before him was a row of impossibly tall sculptures. Their journey was at an end. "They're huge," cried Nier, completely forgetting the heat and pain of the past few hours. I've never seen anything so big." Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape, a tall rectangle that stretched up toward the sky, but that is where the similarities ended. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected the light in 1,000 directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on their tops, while others possessed triangular caps. "What kind of city is this?" said Nier. "Where are the people? Where are the houses?" Perhaps the land is intended exclusively for artistic use. The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Miracles of artistry were everywhere. Great iron crates with wheels sat silent on steel rails. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street. As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick, but many were composed of materials they had never before encountered. The sheer variety of colors and styles was staggering. Unable to find a theme or purpose to the abstract works around them, Nier and Vice eventually fell silent. On the outskirts of the city, they discovered 3 sculptures in the shape of humans. Nier uttered a sigh of relief as he approached them. "Finally, I was getting tired of modern art." The 3 statues were indistinguishable except for a single word chiseled into their right arms. One read Alpha, one read Beta, and the final one read Gamma. As Nier moved to touch the nearest statue, a bird flew from the top of one of the sculptures, alighting on the statue's shoulder. It emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words. "Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false ones will only speak lies." With that, the bird departed. As if on cue, the 3 statues shuddered to life, acquiring color and form as they began to breathe. "Hey, look at that! They're alive!" The triplets bowed low before Nier. "Please," said Alpha. "You have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real." "Stop lying," said Beta. He turned to Nier and threw his hands in the air. "Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one." "What a load of crap," said Gamma. "Beta is a fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here." Their respective pleas given, the 3 statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again enveloped the city. "When you consider all of the statements, only one of them could be the real thing," said Vice. Nier furrowed his eyebrows and considered his answer. "Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false ones will only speak lies." I really have no fucking idea. If anything, I'll just say that Alpha's the one to... I don't know. Yeah, wait a minute. The real form will always speak the truth. The false ones will only speak lies. Meaning, Beta and Gamma were the ones that actually said that the others are false, right? Alpha's just the one that said that he's got to get out of this nightmare. I'm going with Alpha. The real one is Alpha. The eyes of the statue shone with an eerie light. The light grew stronger and stronger until Nier and Vice were forced to turn away. Well, that was a mistake. What? God damn it. I could have sworn that was it. I really could have sworn that was actually the one to go for. God damn it, so I have to skip through all this shit again? Okay, here we go again. So Alpha says, please, you have to get me out of this nightmare, I am real. Stop lying, said Beta. Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one. What a load of crap. Beta is a fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here. I don't understand what... How do I know which one's telling the truth? God damn it. I have absolutely no idea. Fuck. Stop lying, Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one. I'm gonna go with Beta, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false one will only speak lies. I guess let's go with Beta. Though Nier's voice betrayed a notable lack of confidence, he was relieved to see Vice nodding at him. If Alpha were telling the truth, began Vice in the dry tones of lecturer, Beta and Gamma would be fakes. But in that case, Gamma's claim that Beta is fake would only be the truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, that theory crumbles. Now let us presume that Gamma spoke the truth. That makes Alpha and Beta liars. In this situation, however, Beta is calling Alpha a liar, which would leave us with two statues telling the truth. Finally, let us assume that Beta is telling the truth. If so, Alpha and Gamma's lies would make sense. Therefore, Beta must be real. Oh, okay. So that's how you would explain it. My bad on that one. As Vice finished his explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumbled soundlessly into dust, while Beta sprang to life once more. Congratulations, villager, said Vice in a cheerful voice. The time to awaken has arrived. Thank you for saving me, cried the villager. He dropped to his knees and bowed his head as low as it could go before an uncomfortable Nier pulled him to his feet. Why did you have a dream like this? Asked Vice. Have you been to the city before? The villager slowly looked around at the bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted the landscape, then shook his head. I don't think so. I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way I could have ever been to a place like this, but at the same time, I feel like I've seen it before. Deja vu, muttered Nier. It's just like that damn mayor. The vague sense of unease that struck Nier during the mayor's dream spread once more through his mind. Okay, that was terrible. I am positive I have seen that place before. Stop. Get enough foreboding crap from everyone else in my life. Don't you start too. Okay, there. Now all the villagers can wake up, right? Yes, if the mayor's assumption was correct. I think I have had enough wordplay to last a lifetime, thank you very much. Yeah, I hear you. Well, let's go see the mayor. Yeah, let's see if this all worked out.
Hello.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Here, I have something for you. Oh shit, we got a sword. Holy crap. I can really have this? Of course. It's apparently a weapon of some renown, but we have little use for it. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you again for everything. Alright, I guess they're out of their shit. I wonder if that actually counted as, no, that didn't count as side quests. What a lovely extra episode this was to get a fucking weapon. Why do I keep pressing triangle? That is not the button I need to be pressing right now. And... ah, shit, this is... oh, wait. Oh, shit, that's a tight fucking weapon. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Better fucking believe I'm equipping this bitch. And, oh, man, we're so close on broken antenna to get this shit leveled up. Alright, I guess we're going back to the junk heap, because I can get that broken antenna. That shit's all over the junk heap, I'm pretty sure. Alright, well that was an ordeal. But let's get back to the main shit, you know? Let's see what we gotta do next. We have a sealed verse. I guess we really didn't need to go further than what we did in the last episode. But I did it anyways. Why not? I gotta do the side content. And I got a fucking sword out of it, man. That was pretty dang cool. So how was the village? Oh, it was truly magnificent. There are no words, really. Huh. Neat. Let's go back to Popola. She'll probably want to know what's going on in there. Oh god, that place was fucking terrible. Yeah, let's never go back there. Even if we have to, let's just not go back there. Please, let's never go back there. Alright, next stop is the junk heap, because this new sword that we have from rescuing the villagers is pretty dang cool, and it's really close to being upgraded, so we'll head to the junk heap, and then we'll head back to Popola and see where she wants us to go next. Oh, and we actually are done. What the fuck, you stupid-ass boar? We actually are done with one of the side quests. It's the side quest that will let us hear Devila and Popola sing. So that'll be exciting.